This is a video worth talking about. Think we can get through this entire thing without making everybody angry? I very much doubt it. Welcome back. I wanted to address one of the most commonly asked questions I ever get, like by a lot. I figured it was worth the conversation when talking about Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, and Facebook gaming, and really kind of digging deep and recognizing reasons why maybe you should post to those platforms and maybe some reasons why you shouldn't. Now, please keep in mind, anything I say here is going to be completely subjective. I'm interpreting these platforms myself based on my 6 years of experience as a full-time content creator and someone who has made full-time content on all 4 of these platforms at some point. Also, keep in mind that social media platforms change rapidly. So it's possible if you're watching this 6 months from now, nothing I say might not be relevant anymore. And one last thing to keep in mind throughout this whole thing is that erring on the side of posting to too many platforms is better than erring on the side of not posting on enough. Get your content everywhere if you can. Utilize as many platforms as you can. This is more about which one you should stream on. So let's just jump into these 4 platforms. Now, if you take a look at 2 of these are dedicated streaming platforms that really, when you break it down, do nothing but streaming. 2 of these host more of a variety of content. And so I want to get started on those 2 first. Let's start with YouTube, just because YouTube, out of all 4 of these, is by far the most prestigious platform. YouTube is the place where if you can make it there, you are considered a legitimate creator. And this is the place where most commonly internet fame leaks into real life fame. This kind of branding and reputation around a channel is important to take a look at because it allows you to have such a higher ceiling. The reason that ceiling is so high is because the competition on the platform is so fierce. The bar for production value or just quality of content is so high. The stakes on this platform are the highest, but the rewards or the potential rewards are also the highest. I also consider YouTube a place where you should probably seriously consider streaming, just because with how massive they are and how much they have invested into their gaming platform over the last 5 to 8 years with multiple tweaks to their UI. They've picked up multiple massive streaming personalities as well as signed deals for professional leagues to stream on their platform. They have proven that they are in the game to win it, and I think there's a good chance that they could. A lot of people get caught up in looking at what tools each platform has to grow, and those are incredibly important, by the way. But something that people maybe neglect and don't recognize as actually important is if you ask any kid in a classroom what they want to be when they grow up, the majority of them nowadays say they want to be a YouTuber. They don't say they want to be a Facebook video creator. I don't know if that's a thing. They don't think it's a thing. The world doesn't think it's a thing. And that's not unimportant. That is your status among the community. And if you combine the prestige of this platform along with the fact that YouTube also makes it much more easier to grow than dedicated streaming platforms because there is topical video content. You can post a 10-minute video about something specific, and if someone watches something similar to yours, they might be recommended to watch yours later. Hence discoverability. YouTube is a very powerful place if you can understand how it works, which is probably the biggest downside of the platform, is that people have been on this platform for so long. People understand how titles and thumbnails work, how the algorithm works, most likely better than you, and often new creators get left behind. Another issue I have with YouTube as a streaming platform is how heavily YouTube favors video content over live streaming content. There are lots of times when I've wanted to watch a live stream and I've missed it because it's shown up in that little box on the side, that little thing over here, and it didn't even show up in my subscription feed. And I don't ever look at that. By contrast, Facebook works completely differently, and there are 3 massive advantages that Facebook has over YouTube. One of those advantages is that Facebook is timeline based. Similar to Twitter or Instagram, people can scroll endlessly through content, and if they scroll across one of your videos or your live streams, it automatically starts playing. Unlike YouTube, where you have to actually actively click on a video for it to start playing. And that sounds like it's not a big deal. Oh, you have to click on it. What's the big deal? The average click-through rate of a video, at least of my videos, is about 10%. 1 in 10 people who see the thumbnail actually start playing it. Whereas on Facebook, 10 in 10 people who scroll through and happen to see my thumbnail automatically see the first 3 to 5 seconds of my video. That's theoretically 10 times the amount of views. The second main advantage of Facebook, and it's a pretty big one, is that Facebook isn't just full of usernames, like YouTube. You don't just create a profile. It is your personal profile attached to you, attached to all of your connections. Therefore, if someone shares your video or shares your stream, they're sharing it with all their real life friends, their family, their ex-girlfriends, their ex-girlfriend's stepdad. All those people see your content, and all those people have a real world connection to that share because they say, oh, I wonder why Craig shared this video today. Let me watch a couple seconds and see. And yeah, speaking of sharing, that is the third main advantage. Facebook has a tiny little share button next to every single video that shares it to your timeline and to other people's timelines, your friends' timelines. On YouTube, you can't share a video into someone else's subscription feed. It doesn't work that way. This allows content on Facebook to go viral so easily. My wife and I made a compilation of like our most popular vines. For those of you who don't know, we used to be music viners. That's how we started our career 6 years ago. Feel like the cool kid. But it took us about 10 minutes to edit. We threw together our most popular ones, posted it to Facebook, 14 million views. The most views a Vine compilation got on our YouTube channel was 500,000. I mean, 500,000 is a great number. I'm not complaining about that, but it's not 14 million. The problem I have with Facebook is that while it does everything, it's not really the best at anything. And I don't think they try to be. Facebook is kind of like the Walmart of social media. And I think this is heavily shown with their gaming platform, that they saw how massive the gaming industry was getting. They wanted a slice of that revenue pie. So they made a couple tweaks to their UI to fit the gaming narrative. They bought one giant streamer to show, hey, look, even big streamers can stream on our platform. And then they haven't really done anything since except host a party at PAX West that didn't have air conditioning, which, by the way, that wasn't fun. But I think they're kind of okay with that. They're getting their slice of the pie. They have streamers making them money, and that's all they want. And there are a handful of reasons that make me feel this way. I think the best example that I have a personal experience with is their copyright system. I mean, you guys know I created Stream Beats with the intent of allowing streamers to play it completely copyright free with no copyright strikes, played in the background of your live streams, in the background of your YouTube videos. And I get about 5 to 10 tweets a day from people saying, hey, my Facebook stream got shut down mid-stream and I was playing nothing but your Stream Beats. I've also heard of streamers getting their entire Facebook account shut down due to in-game music that Facebook grabbed them for. When I first launched Stream Beats, I reached out to every platform and I hit up my contact at Facebook, Phil, who's an absolute boss, by the way. So Phil connected me with the Facebook music team. I sent them everything that they asked for, and then, it would take them a couple weeks to respond, and they go, oh, yeah, we'll see what we can do. Why don't you try sending us all your ISRC codes? So I copied and pasted every single ISRC code, sent it to them, never heard back. I mean, the bottom line is Facebook does need to protect themselves from copyright litigation, but rather than build out a solid copyright foundation to fix the problem, it's just easier to throw their creators under the bus. They're making the money that they need. Who cares if some streamers get shut down? What are people gonna do? Leave Facebook? Just something to keep in mind as we complain about YouTube and Twitch not caring about their creators so much. Facebook, they do not have your back. So the way I've come to understand this, making content on Facebook versus YouTube, is that on Facebook, you can expect stuff to grow much, much easier. Stuff catches on like wildfire. Your reach on Facebook is massive. However, the ceiling on YouTube is much higher. If you can fight through a little bit of a thicker battle over on YouTube, you can go farther. And so it just kind of depends on where you think your potential is. Do you have the potential to win on YouTube, or should you try Facebook? Or honestly, again, you should post content to both, but where do you want to stream to? Let's move on to the dedicated streaming platforms. Twitch. Twitch, the platform that I stream on, has one thing going for it. And that one thing is that it is the biggest platform for streaming. That's literally it. They got in the game early. 99% of all the top streamers are on Twitch. And if you are a big streamer, you are known as the biggest streamers. It is the YouTube of dedicated streaming platforms. That's about where the good things end with Twitch. I don't know, maybe you could say that the website's a little more robust. It probably has the best UI for streaming with things like mod view, with things like how clean it is, that it's basically your stream scene and your chat taking up the entire side versus YouTube's streaming UI, which I think is just a mess. So similar to YouTube, if you can grow on Twitch and become a top streamer on Twitch, you can go further than any other streaming platform. It has so much more headroom, such a higher ceiling. However, it is almost impossible to do that nowadays. I mean, just in general, streaming as your only source of content is a bad strategy. Very few people grow by streaming daily and making zero other content. At the end of the day, most people just don't like browsing through live streams as much as they enjoy browsing through short form content or video content. And we don't need to dive into this. I've talked about this in like 10 different YouTube videos. But Twitch needs some kind of discoverability tool. And I don't mean like a recommending live streams. I mean browsable content. Twitch needs to up their clip game and make it possible to browse through funny clips. And when they find one they like, they can go follow that person's live stream. Clicking on a 15-second clip is much less of a commitment than clicking on a live stream expecting to have to watch for 5 to 10 minutes before you really understand who that person is. Which leaves us with Mixer. And last time I talked about Mixer in a video, which was when I was answering Twitter questions, a lot of Mixer streamers got mad at me. And so while we talk about Mixer, let's also talk about that because this is very important. The only thing Mixer has going for it right now is the fact that it is a smaller platform. And so it's easier to moderate. The community is more positive, which if that's what's most important to you, then that's a great place to be. If you're trying to make a career out of streaming, Mixer is a bad place to be right now. A lot of people say that because Mixer is a smaller platform, it's a lot easier to get discovered. Twitch is too saturated. The bottom line is Mixer is actually more saturated, just in a smaller area. According to Twitch Tracker, which tracks both Twitch and Mixer, for every single streamer, there are about 22 to 23 viewers on the platform. On Mixer, for every one streamer, there are, 3.2 viewers. The site is 7 times more saturated with streamers than Twitch is. These aren't my opinion. These are objective problems with the platform. Mixer isn't doing anything to fix this. Shroud went on stream a couple weeks ago and said, in order to get a good streaming platform, all you have to do is sit and wait. I completely disagree. I think Mixer needs to be doing something. They need to be adding features, something that makes them a better platform for streamers and viewers than Twitch, and there just really isn't anything like that right now. And the biggest problem is that Mixer streamers are afraid to call them out because they don't want their platform to die. I mean, you guys watched the previous 3 minutes of this video when I called out Twitch. I criticize Twitch all the time. And whenever I do that, Twitch streamers gather around me and say, yes, we would love Twitch to change this. Let's fix Twitch. Let's let them know what we want. And yet when I say one criticism on Mixer, they all jump to Mixer's defense. And guys, if you want your platform to survive, you need to be holding them accountable. At this rate, I wouldn't be shocked if Mixer shut down in the next 5 years. They've already laid off half their staff. They're on a skeleton crew. They're not doing anything anymore. Mixer streamers, let Mixer know what your platform needs. Now, just to reiterate, if you're looking for a small platform to stream on for fun and you're looking for something a little more positive, uplifting, that is what you get with a smaller community, and that's the one situation where I'd recommend it. However, if you're trying to turn this into a career, I do not recommend streaming on Mixer. At least if you're starting today. Obviously, if you already have a large following and an audience on Mixer, I'm not saying give that up. I'm just saying if you're looking for a platform to start on, Mixer's probably not your guy. So just to understand my thought process behind what I've chosen, I chose to make content primarily on YouTube and to stream primarily on Twitch. That decision was made because I had experience in creating content and I believed I knew the platform well enough to fight through that crowd and come out on top. However, it's been high on my priority list to take my YouTube content, kind of reformat it to what works on Facebook and start posting more stuff there. There's just no reason I shouldn't be hitting that audience as well. If you're looking for faster initial growth, even if the ceiling's a little bit lower, and you're okay with a platform that you need to be careful of, Facebook might be your guy. Start streaming there. Or if you, unlike me, don't mind putting all your eggs in one basket and you want to be on a top level platform, all encompassed on one platform, YouTube might be the way to go. There are strengths and weaknesses of all of these, and it just depends on what you want and where you want to go with it. So take a second, sit back, pick a platform that you think is where you want to be and give it a shot for a couple months. And if it's not working, you have the option to switch and try a new one. There's no rush here. And if you have any other questions or you want to further the discussion with me, I'm open to talking about all these platforms. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday on Twitch at noon Pacific time. Link to that in the description below. Or if you want to meet a giant community of people who all might share your opinions or differing opinions, our Discord has about 60,000 members, all streamers, all trying to better themselves. Jump in there, find some friends, find some people to stream with. Link to that also in the description down below. And as always, happy streaming. You need anything?
We go say hello?
You should say hello.
I'm gonna go say hi. We'll see what's
Go
up.
say hello.
Okay, what's up, dudes? Oh no.
Did they? They're shooting at you. Go run! And they're running. Let me in.
Oh, come in.